It's time to paint on the iPad, boys and girls. And since it's that time of year, we're going to do something with a winter theme. So, before we can do anything though, we need to open our favorite painting app. So what we're going to do is, if you look at your iPad screen, you'll see all the apps. What you want to do is somewhere on the background around the apps, not on an app itself, take your finger and just swipe towards your chest, swipe down on the screen so that you get this nice menu here. It's a search menu. Now the app that we're going to be using is called Brushes Redux and it starts with a B. So we want to type B, and then our iPad is really smart. You see, I don't have to type very much of the word. I only have to type one letter, and then we see that app with the blue background and the palette with all the colors of paint on it. That is called Brushes Redux, and all we have to do to open it is touch right on that icon, and it looks like this. Now, if your screen looks a little bit different, don't say anything. Just put your hand up and Mr. Hitchcock will come over. That's me, of course. I'm Mr. Hitchcock. I'm talking to you, but I'm also in the room. Is that weird? If your screen looks weird, then put your hand up and Mr. Hitchcock will come and help you. Now, the very first thing that we need to do is we need to create a new painting project. So if you look on the screen, all the way up in the right hand corner there is a very, very small blue plus button. If you tap on that blue plus button, you get a little screen that pops out from the side and it says new painting at the top. Now we're going to select that and we're going to tap where it says create. It starts with a C. Now our iPad is creating a new painting for us and we get this white screen. Now, before we can do any bit of painting though, we need to write our name on our paper. So if you look right here, right there, whoops, that's not the brush that I want to use. Hold on a moment. Hold on. By the way, this is a good time for me to tell you about the undo button. If I press that undo button, look what it does. It takes my painting away. Now what we want to do is look at this button right here. That's the gallery button. And if I tap that, it takes me back to the gallery. Now, if you look on your painting, you'll see it says Painting 2. Mr. Hitchcock's going to come around and tap on that to write your name on the paper. But if you know how to type your name, you can type it yourself. Alright, so we're going to put our name, and then see the blue button on the keyboard? Find that blue button on the keyboard and tap it. Done. Now, we're ready to start painting. So when you're all done and you tap that blue button, tap on your painting to reopen it. Of course, if you're having problems, raise your hand and Mr. Hitchcock will come around. Now, we're going to look first at this menu. This menu is how we pick our colors. Now you see this circle that I'm spinning around really crazy? See it? See it? See it? Look what it's doing to the square next to it. It's changing the colors. So this is how we pick our colors. So I'm going to pick blue. I want you guys to pick blue too. Then I want you to look at this circle that I'm spinning around. See that circle? I want you to move that circle all the way up to here. So now we've got blue. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap that same button, this button right here, to make that menu go away. You can just tap it. Now, see this thing that I'm moving back and forth here? This changes the size of our mark. If we want a teeny little mark like a pencil line, we might go down here and it looks like this. If we want a medium-sized mark, we want it to be thick but not too thick, we move it to the middle. And if we want it really big, we get that. Now take your fingers and make an L. Mr. Hitchcock will show you. Put your two fingers on the screen and bring them together. We call that pinching. I want you to fill that whole screen up with blue. Once you do that, take your 2 fingers and pinch your picture back to this size. Now, open up your color mixing tray again and slide this circle here, slide it all the way to this corner so we have white, because we're going to build a snowman. Now, take your finger and just touch the bottom of your paper and drag it across. You're going to make a snowy ground. Now take your finger and slide this to the middle. And we're going to build our snowman this way. Color him in, don't leave him white in the middle. Snowmen don't have holes through them. If you want to do an extra snowman, if you have time. And remember, if something's going wrong, raise your hand and Mr. Hitchcock will come over and help you. Don't say anything, don't call out. Raise your hand. Alright, so now we got some snowmen. We need to make faces on them. So we're going to come back over here to our color and we're going to slide this circle down to this corner, right down here, to get us black. Now before we paint, we've got to move our slider so that we have a little tiny mark, because we want to make a little face. We don't want it to be too big. It'll cover up the whole face. So take your 2 fingers and pinch in and zoom in on one of your snowmen. Or snow ladies. They could be snow ladies. And with your finger, just draw little circles, little dots. Swirl your fingers around like this. Move down and make some buttons. Snowman's got buttons. If you got room, put on a hat. You can even change your size a little bit to make it easier. If you make your size bigger, you can cover more area. He's got a hat. Now, don't forget though, if you slide your slider up and you want to make it small again, you got to slide it down. By the way, if I make a mistake, let's say, oh no, I made a mistake. Well, you see this button? It's called the undo button. That's the redo button. That's the undo button. They're right here. They help us take away our mistakes. They're right here. So now I can fix my mistakes really easily. Maybe I want to change colors and I want to give this snowman a red stocking cap. Don't forget, you got to move your circle up to this corner. Give him a stocking cap. Maybe he's like Santa Claus. Maybe it's Christmas time. You could do a red scarf on this guy if we have time. Alright, boys and girls. So finish up your snowmen, and then Mr. Hitchcock is going to show you how to save your picture.